It's a rainy day in Statesboro, Georgia, and it's also Military Appreciation Day. And we are ready for a war in the Sun Belt Conference. Georgia Southern, Arkansas State, ready to go off. You're watching the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN. And with that, we welcome you to the game of the day in the Sun Belt Conference. Alongside Danny Waugh, I'm Greg Talbot. It's great to have you with us. Well, the Red Wolves were picked to win the Sun Belt Conference in the preseason poll, and because of that, Danny, Georgia Southern head coach Chad Lunsford has made no bones about it. He wants this to be their first statement win of the season.
Well, it's the Sun Belt Conference opener, and the Eagles want to prove that they belong in this conference after the dip they had last season in 2017. Expect great things tonight here for Georgia Southern against Arkansas State.
Well, today is going to be the battle of the quarterbacks, and for the Red Wolves, that begins with Justice Hansen. He is a third-year starter, one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the history of Arkansas State. And today, Danny, he's chasing history.
That's right. He's 2 passing touchdowns away from breaking the all-time passing touchdown record at Arkansas State. He was the preseason player of the year this year, the offensive player of the year last year. He's looking for a big game tonight against Georgia Southern.
As for Georgia Southern, Shai Werts had a tremendous first 2 games of the season, but he stumbled against Clemson 2 weeks ago.
Well, they're one of the top defenses in the nation, top teams in the nation for that matter. And when you're going up against a team like Clemson, you're going to have some stumbles along the road. But Shai has had plenty of time to rest. The Eagles have had a bye week last week. He's looking to go here against Arkansas State.
Well, it's a rematch of the 1986 D1 AA National Championship, and Georgia Southern is 0-2 against Arkansas State since then. As members of the Sun Belt, they'll look to change that today from the prettiest little stadium in America after the break on ESPN+. Well, a nice big crowd on hand today in Statesboro for Military Appreciation Day. And in addition to the pregame cannon shot you saw earlier, also a flyover, Danny. They went all out for this one.
And even when the Eagles came out to the field, they had an actual cannon go off as the team made it out there. It is a very exciting time in Statesboro.
And let's take a look at today's impact players on ESPN+. Go ahead, Danny. Why'd you choose these guys?
Well, you look at Justin McGinnis. This is going to be one of the targeted wide receivers from Justice Hansen today. Forrest Merrill leads the team in sacks and tackles for losses. Wesley Kennedy has always been an impact player for Georgia Southern on the offensive side. And Monquavian Brinson is one of the Eagles secondary members that's going to have to limit the amount of yards that this wide receiving core from Arkansas State gets.
And this is worth noting. Monquavian Brinson is going to have an even bigger task ahead of him today because the Georgia Southern defense is missing a couple of players. Well, Blake Anderson in his 5th season at the helm of Arkansas State, Danny, this is a program with a long tradition of being a launching pad to bigger, nationally known college football programs. He's done a great job, and he's always mentioned as a possible guy for the next level. And then Chad Lunsford, boys, he had a busy week in the Washington Post on Barstool Sports. He's becoming nationally known, and he's trying to get an impact win for his team today.
Yeah, both coaches are phenomenal for their programs. Last season, Arkansas State just missed the mark. They wanted to win the Sun Belt Conference Championship like they did in 2016. Unable to do so last year, so they want to try to do that this season.
All right, Arkansas State will get the ball first. Georgia Southern to kick it away. Tyler Bass puts it in the air. And they'll let this one go out of the back of the end zone. So the Arkansas State offense is one of the most effective in the Sun Belt Conference year after year. This is a team that has won the Sun Belt Conference 5 of the last 7 years. And the man running the offense is Justice Hansen. He's already one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the history of the school. The reigning Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, already thrown for 10 touchdowns this season. And Danny, like you said in the pregame, he is chasing history today.
Right, only 2 more passing touchdowns to become the all-time passing touchdowns leader. And Arkansas State already lining up with 4 wide receivers. We'll see how he works early in this game.
Warren Wand flanking him in the backfield. And on first down, it's an RPO. Over the middle of the field, ball knocked loose by Monquavian Brinson. He was targeting Jonathan Adams.
And there you go, Brinson already establishing dominance early for the Eagles. That secondary is going to have a long night in trying to break up passes like the one on first down.
Like we said in the pregame, it'll be up to the secondary to be as good as they can be because they've got some missing players. As the handoff goes to Juan, he's knocked down for No gain on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and long. And when we talk about the guys missing for Southern, Chris Harris, who's a normal player for them, he's gone. But more importantly, Tamarcio Reese is out today, probably their best linebacker.
Yeah, one of the captains for Georgia Southern was the Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week in Week 1 as well.
3rd and 10 for Arkansas State. Merritt, their leading receiver, in motion. Hansen dumps it off. This is Merritt. Out of bounds to the 34-yard line. I believe he might have been just a yard short. We will see what they say. Nope, they're going to say he got it. They'll say he got the first down by about half a yard, and Brinson was there to push him out. So Arkansas State moves the chains here on their opening drive. Under pressure, Hansen is dropped for a sack. And it was Logan Hunt who got to him first.
First sack of the year for the senior out of Sandersville, Georgia. You already saw Hansen had some pressure. Hunt was able to maneuver past the offensive lineman, grab the legs, and take him down.
So already Arkansas State breaking their normal move by dropping back the pass so often. Despite the fact, Andy, that they are a big-time passing team, they really do run about half the time.
Yeah, and you look at Justice Hansen's stats the last couple of games, he has not thrown for more than 200 yards in weeks.
Comes near side to Brandon Bowling, his first catch of the day. Dives forward, he'll be a couple yards short, bringing up a manageable 3rd down.
And you look at how Hansen's progressed through the first 4 games. He had an amazing game against Southeast Missouri, threw for over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns.
And that was a record-setting game with the school.
Yes, and even though he only threw 199 yards against UNLV, he did have 3 passing touchdowns.
He'll pitch on 3rd and 2, and that'll move the chains on the first down. Nice pickup that time by Marcel Murray from Hiram, Georgia. He's a guy that got out of state, but he's amazing, Danny. They have got a stable of 3 running backs at A-State, but as a true freshman, he is their leading rusher. And they'll go back to him again on first down. And that time, the play is not going to get nearly as much as Josh Moon flies in from the safety position for the tackle.
See, Murray has such an incredible opportunity being able to be part of a running back core with 2 other seniors, and he's being able to show himself early as a true freshman, and he's going to be the key running back for years to come for the Red Wolves.
2 other running backs in their stable, Warren Wand and Armand Wewe, both seniors. 2nd and 6. Hansen on the RPO, comes back near side. It's another first down for Arkansas State. That one hauled in by Justin McGinnis. He's their leading receiver on the season, now almost 200 yards in 2018. And interesting as well, Danny, he's Canadian.
Yeah, from Pierrefonds, Quebec, with his 16th reception, 100 and about 80 still yards on the year.
Hansen throws to the sideline. That one looks like it was out of bounds, and it was. It was hauled in out of bounds by Kendall Vildor. And that would have been impressive because that would have been his 2nd interception in as many games. Don't forget, he picked one off against Clemson.
And he seemed to have overthrew it to McGinnis. Maybe some miscommunication between the quarterback and wide receiver there. Vildor almost had Paulson Stadium on their feet.
I think there was a mistake about someone not knowing the correct route. All right, 2nd down and 10 for Hansen, the redshirt senior out of Oklahoma. Zips it far side of the field, trying to get away as Merritt. Can't get away from that Eagles secondary. He's taken down by Sean Freeman. 2nd down coming up.
And the Eagle defense isn't worried about plays that are going about 4 or 5 yards. They're willing to give those up. It's the deep ball that they have to worry about later in the matchup.
Yeah, this week, Georgia Southern defensive coordinator Scott Sloan says he wants his defensive unit to be bend, don't break against the Wolves. 3rd down and 7 coming up. Justin McGinnis, the only wide receiver on the near side of the field. This is Adams. And he can't get there. He'll be stopped a couple of yards short of the first down.
Great stop by the Eagle defense. Finally able to have the Red Wolves go on 4th down. And I believe the offense is staying on the field. They're going to go for it here, Greg.
And you can't blame them. Arkansas State 63% on 4th down this year. They are 5 for 8. So better odds than not here on 4th down and 3. No timeout called. They really are going to go for this on their opening drive. Hansen on 4th and 3. Pressure comes. And that's going to be a turnover and a sack for Georgia Southern. Flying in is Ty Phillips, and the Eagles are going to get that one back.
Already in the first possession, we've seen 2 sacks from the Eagle defensive line. First Logan Hunt, now Ty Phillips. They've also put the Eagles in great field position as the offense is about to take the field. Let's take a look again at this 4th down play as Ty Phillips was able to monster his way in for the sack. Look at him just able to get past the O-lineman that was holding on to his jersey and was able to wrap up Hansen and take him down.
All right, so now Arkansas State only 5 for 9 on the year on 4th down as Southern forces it. Shai Werts back out to run the offense for Southern on their opening drive. First play of the game, they go up the middle. Wesley Fields meant for a gain of about only 2 yards. So like we said at the top of the broadcast, Danny, Shai Werts is the running this offense. The 5'11", 200-pound redshirt sophomore quarterback from Clinton, South Carolina. Not only is he their leading passer because, again, he's their quarterback, he's also their leading rusher on the season.
Yeah, there you see 256 yards, 5 touchdowns compared to the rest of the team.
Second down and 8, back to Fields they go. Able to move the ball for another 3. That should set up 3rd down and about 5 yards.
And the big thing for the Eagles here is to truly bounce back from the loss against Clemson. Offensively, things didn't go the way they wanted to go, but they had plenty of time to prepare for this matchup against Arkansas State. They had a bye week last week.
And really coming off a big pay game against Clemson, you're worried about your guys getting banged up. Really, it was the Eagles' defense that was banged up. The offense was pretty unaffected. 3rd down, they'll run the option. Shai pitches toward the out-of-bounds mark is Wesley Kennedy for his first touch of this game. Out around the 47-yard line. We're waiting for the spot. If he didn't get it, he would be just about a yard short. He is about a yard short. And both teams will go for it on 4th down on their opening drive of the game. Nope, there's the late change by Chad Lunsford. Out comes the Eagle punt.
Interesting change here. Georgia Southern's done plenty of things to hopefully combat this 4th down situation. We'll talk about later throughout the game, but interesting move to bring out the punt team.
The offense was looking like they were going to stay out there, weren't they?
Right after the defense capitalized on the first possession.
Kick is away. Back to receive Warren Wand. The 7. Chase out of bounds between the 25 and the 30 and a flag. Back on the field around the 15-yard line. And we'll find out what that is after the break on ESPN+. 0-0 early in the first quarter. So a couple pretty impressive defensive opening drives here between Arkansas State and Georgia Southern on ESPN+. Greg Talbot, Danny Waugh with you here for this game so far. And Danny, the Arkansas State offensive line must be worried because they allowed 3 sacks in each of the previous 2 games, and they've already given up 2 on the opening drive.
Yeah, the Georgia Southern front line already doing a tough job for Arkansas State to try and protect Hansen. If this is how it's going to go for the rest of the game, Hansen's in for a pretty long night.
So in case you're wondering why they're pushed all the way back to their own 8-yard line, it was a block in the back penalty on the punt return, and that's a spot foul. So now they're in the shadow of their own goalpost to begin their second drive. Up the middle they go to Marcel Murray. True freshman out of Hiram, Georgia, is a forward for a gain of about 5 yards. And he's another one of these guys, Danny, in-state from Georgia, who had his pick between similar schools. He chose Arkansas State over Coastal Carolina and JMU. Second down and 4. Hansen on play action fires it over the head of Kendrick Edwards. First time they've targeted him today. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And already, once again, miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receivers. That's the second time that's happened already in this game.
Monquavian Brinson there, already having a big game. So third down and about 4 yards to go for Arkansas State. Justice Hansen is the best quarterback in the Sun Belt Conference, but his receivers and his offensive line betraying him so far. Murray with him in the backfield on third down. Hansen with time goes to the sideline. He's got a first down as he connects with Omar Bayless, and he's up to the 25-yard line.
That time, the offensive line did a better job in protecting Hansen. Hansen with plenty of time in the pocket. Good job on the left side. Found the guy on the curl route. And Bayless able to stay in and fight for a few yards more.
And Bayless an all Sun Belt Conference honorable mention wide receiver last year. Now up to about 140 yards this year receiving. And A-State moves the ball on the first down. RPO over the middle, connects with Merritt, and he's got another first down for Arkansas State. That is his third catch of the day already, and Danny, you can see why he is their leading receiver.
And it seems like Arkansas State going to work on short passes for about 5 or 6 yards to slowly move the ball, and then once the Eagles defense can get comfortable, you can see Hansen go deep.
Red Wolves moving fast. This is a pitch outside to Murray. Got a gain of 1 or 2 yards on the play.
And Rashad Burr, the middle linebacker, redshirt sophomore from North Augusta, easily meeting Murray for the stop. Only a short gain for the Red Wolves.
Second down and 9. Hansen got a man over the middle. It's Jonathan Adams. He's sprinting toward the 30, and a huge gain on that play of nearly 30 yards.
With multiple wide receivers in the offense for Arkansas State, you can always expect a guy to be open in the middle of the field. And once again, Hansen able to find the man.
Hansen now about 90 yards passing already today against the Eagles. Not a surprise. He torched them last year on national TV. Went for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns against Southern a year ago. They look to throw again on first down. Linebacker blitz coming. Post route, end zone, nearly intercepted. And it'll fall incomplete. Great effort that time by Sean Freeman, the safety.
It was one-on-one the whole way down. Hansen was looking for the end zone. It was close, and also an even closer play by Freeman, who almost got the interception in the end zone.
Yeah, he was looking for Bubba Ogbubor, the Boise State transfer. So second down and 10 now for Arkansas State. Interesting formation with Brandon Bowling, the wide receiver in the backfield, now in motion. On second and 10, they will hand to Warren Wand. Got a gain of just about 1 yard on the play. And talk about a small world, Danny. Warren Wand, the senior running back from Edmond, Oklahoma, from the same hometown as their quarterback, Justice Hansen.
Wouldn't be surprised if they possibly had some high school battles back in the day before joining up together in Jonesboro.
All right, another big third down and long. Call it 3rd and 9 for A-State. Southern's already stopped them on 3rd and 4th down today. Hansen, another underneath route, and it's hauled in by Brandon Bowling at the 21-yard line. This is going to be awfully close. They're going to call this 4th down and 1, and for the second time already today, the Red Wolves will go for it on 4th and short. The Eagles held them last time. Give up the middle to Wand. I don't think he's going to get it. And Southern has stopped them both times, Danny, on 4th down.
Excellent play from the Eagles defense. First, I have to give credit to Brandon Bowling on the 3rd down play. I didn't think he made that catch. And then 4th and 1, once again, the Eagle front line able to prevent Arkansas State from getting the first down. Red Wolves are already 0 for 2 in 4th down conversions when they came into this game 5 of 8.
That's pretty amazing. And 4th down, Danny, I would say already proving to be a big deal for Southern on offense and defense. Chad Lunsford has really been pushing his team to go forward on 4th. Turns out the defense has been doing their part too. New 1st and 10 for Southern as they come out for their second drive. Wirtz gives off to Wesley Fields, and he's going to be dropped for a loss in the backfield. of about 2 yards that time. Forrest Merrill flying in for the tackle.
And Forrest Merrill, one of the impact players we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast for Arkansas State, able to keep Wesley Fields at bay. Here you see Fields trying to go through, and it was actually Kevin Thurman that got it started, followed by Merrill to get the stop.
Why did you want Merrill to be one of the impact players? What's his skill set?
Well, the whole defensive line for Arkansas State is very talented. They lead the conference with 13 sacks entering the game.
And here's the option. Wirtz pitches to Wesley Kennedy. Push out of bounds around the 40-45 yard line, and if they had been 1 or 2 feet closer to the middle of the field, he might have been gone for 60, Danny.
Well, Wesley Kennedy is a big playmaker for Georgia Southern. Wasn't able to get a big play against Clemson, but there you see Wirtz able to pitch out to Kennedy. Kennedy may have stepped out of bounds back
They're
before
marking
the
this
first
thing
down.
back at the 32-yard line. So instead of a big first down run, this is now 3rd down and a long one.
He did step out of bounds as he was trying to make his way through. And going back to your previous question about Forrest Merrill, he leads the team tied with sacks and tackle for losses.
3rd and short, Monteo Garrett gets his first touch. He'll fight his way forward for what appears to be a first down for Southern. So Monteo Garrett getting his first touch of the day so far this year. About 140 yards, 2 touchdowns as well. Southern featuring a stable of 5 running backs this year, but really the big 2 are Monteo and Wesley, who have now gotten their touches.
We can say 5 for now, Greg, but there could be a 6th running back later in this game.
We'll find out.
Could be a secret weapon for Georgia Southern.
All right, a new first down. Going absolutely nowhere that time. Not fooled at all, and making the tackle in the backfield to John Emery, the defensive end.
And there you go. Once again, another defensive lineman for Arkansas State, putting the brakes on the Eagle running game. Garrett had nowhere to run. The redshirt senior Emery making a great tackle.
So far, Arkansas State over 100 yards of offense. Georgia Southern, 17 yards of offense. But it's a tie game. What can you do? Good defenses. 2nd down and 12 after the loss. A-State, a bunch of down linemen. They run the option. Shy keeps it himself. Flag flies in past the 40-yard line. As Bingham came in to make the tackle. He's been all over the field this season for A-State. 2 sacks already. But they're walking this one back like it's going to be against the offense.
And I think it's going to be holding on Colby Ransom, the wide receiver, as Wirtz was trying to make his way through. The defense for Arkansas State was a little bit confused before the snap, trying to get in position before the play.
So after the penalty, Southern staring down the barrel of 2nd down and 22. And although Shy Wirtz has not had to throw it yet, you got to imagine we'll see him do it in the next 2, Danny.
Well, he's 13 for 24, over 200 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, so he is efficient in the passing game.
2nd and over 20. He will drop the throw. Pressure comes. He's got a man wide open, and he overshot Monteo Garrett. He would have had a first down and more.
Yeah, that's on the quarterback right there. You had a wide open Monteo Garrett slot route. If he would have made the great catch, it would have made the catch. It could have been a touchdown. Garrett had a lot of space.
And although that was
one defender to get past.
And although that was not a great pass by Shy Wirtz, I will say he's had good luck against A-State. At least the one time he's played them before last year, he was 10 for 18 against the Wolves, 160 yards, passing touchdown, and ran for over 100 yards as well. 3rd and 22, A-State struggling to get their right package on the field on defense. Garrett in motion, Shy on the keeper, nowhere, sacked for a loss, 4th down coming up. It was Raheem Bingham in there. That'll be his 3rd sack of the season.
I think the ball was out too, and I think Arkansas State recovered it.
Did they really back at the 20-yard line?
Well, the officials were trying to figure it out, and
the officials have the ball. They're moving forward like this. No, they're going to say this is a punting situation. I didn't think so.
It was close.
Didn't see it pop out. Okay, so 4th down and even further to go. Got to imagine A-State here is going to rush the punt. Whistles coming in. Might be a delay of game, I believe, as the clock hits 0. And Danny, that's something you don't usually see out of Georgia Southern entering this game. One of the least penalized teams in all of college football.
And already 2 on the second drive of the night.
Something you don't usually see out of this highly disciplined team. Warren Wand back to receive at his own 40. Good coverage by Southern. This takes an Eagle bounce. Down inside the 30-yard line. So decent field position for Arkansas State. We have a 0-0 ball game with a minute to go in the first. We'll pick up the end of the quarter after this on ESPN Plus. Well, 2 penalties for the Georgia Southern offense on that last drive. And Danny, as we take a look at this graphic, you can see that is highly uncharacteristic. The Eagles, one of the least penalized teams in all of college football.
Yeah, now with 11 penalties with the holding call and the delay of game. But even though they gave up 2 penalties, they still have way less than the majority of teams in the Sun Belt.
On first down, they hand it off to Marcel Murray as the Red Wolves begin their 3rd drive of the game. He's up past the 35-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 4 as Todd Bradley made the tackle.
And Todd Bradley stepping into the starting linebacker position with Tamarcio Reese out. It was pretty much a close decision for Reese whether he was going to play tonight or not.
Hands it on the keeper, dives up to the 40. Looks like he got the first down, and that should move the chains. And Danny, that is part of what makes him such an effective weapon, because not only is he going to beat you for 250 yards passing a game, but he can usually run for 75 as well.
Yeah, entered this game for 149 rushing yards and a touchdown, so you have to be careful.
Empty set, swings it off to Murray. It's off his hands, and that one will fall incomplete.
And you see Hanson continuing to go to that wide receiver screen play. Be able to gain about 5 or 6 yards and move the chains.
And we know that Hanson has an absolute cannon on him, but they love to run little 5 or 6 yard patterns that can turn into 30 with yards after catch. 2nd down and 10, they put Bayless in motion. Pitch near side to Murray. He's got some blocks, but Josh Moon again comes flying up to the 45 to make the tackle. He'll stop him short. That'll be 3rd down and 4 coming up. And Danny, 2nd time we have seen the safeties close in on that hole and make the tackle.
It's great for the Eagles to have Josh Moon back on the field. Was inactive in their last game against Clemson, another team captain on the defensive side.
And that will wind us down to the end of the first quarter here on ESPN Plus. A shocking 0-0 score so far, but A-State near the Southern 50 and keeping their drive going into the second after this. No score in the Sun Belt Conference opener to begin the second quarter between Georgia Southern and Arkansas State, but the Red Wolves 3rd down and 3 trying to get up to the Georgia Southern 50-yard line and keep their 3rd drive of the day going. They put Kirk Merritt in motion. Hanson unsurprisingly will throw. Far side, pass hauled in, and a 1st down for Arkansas State. It was Justin McGinnis with his 2nd catch of the day, and that'll keep their drive going.
And the Eagles showing blitz on that play. They sent 5-6 men to try and take down Justice Hanson, but Hanson quickly able to zip the ball out and get the 1st down.
7 first downs already for the Red Wolves. Just 1 for Southern. And they pitch near side. This is Armand Awaywe getting his first touch of the day. He's up toward the 40-yard line. And if he didn't get that 1st down, he will be just about a yard short. And what an interesting college story for Armand Awaywe. He was a Texas Tech commit out of high school. He redshirted his freshman season of college football at Texas Tech, then went to Scottsdale Community College in Arizona, then ended up in Jonesboro. Pass hauled in past the 30. That's Jonathan Adams and another 1st down.
once again, the Arkansas State offense is moving down the field, but the question is, will they be able to score after their first 2 possessions ended on 4th down?
Georgia Southern a much better red zone team than A-State, but A-State's got a heck of an offense. They can get him there, but not on that play. Hansen dropped at the 41-yard line by Logan Hunt. It is already his 2nd sack of the day.
Logan Hunt and Todd Bradley putting pressure on Justice Hansen just the beginning of the 2nd quarter, and Hansen's been sacked 3 times as much as he's been sacked in the last 2 games, 3 each.
So now A-State looking at 2nd down and 18. They have to get all the way to the Southern 19-yard line. And Southern has 2 safeties pretty far back. Play clock at 3. Hansen steps up. He's going to run. Down to the 25-yard line, not enough for the first down, but it brings up a manageable play. Rashad Byrd coming in for his 2nd tackle of the night.
And this time it's a 3-man front for Georgia Southern and a 3-4 defense. Hansen was able to slip through the middle. Great blocking by the O-line.
So another big 3rd down. They've gotten 8 already just at the beginning of the 2nd quarter. 3rd down and 6. Hansen hits Bowling for the 3rd time. He dives forward. He's certainly not going to get the first down. Kendall Vildor with the shoestring tackle. In 4th down, do we go here again, Danny? A-State already 0 for 2 on 4th down today.
Well, they are staying confident in their offense. Very interesting move here. 4th and 4, you're inside the 25.
A-State 0 for 2 on 4th down already against Southern tonight. Hansen sends Way in motion. Looks like the offensive line jumped, and they did. Turn that into 4th down and 9.
And that's one thing to expect that we didn't see in the previous 2 4th down plays for Arkansas State. Maybe try to get the Eagles defense to jump the gun and move up 5 yards, but that play backfired on the Red Wolves, and now they're 5 yards back, and here comes the field goal team.
Blake Group in to kick it away. "45-yard kick coming up from Group. It appears to have the distance, and it just sneaks in. So a 3-0 start for Arkansas State. And now Georgia Southern has to respond, because now we finally have some points on the board. We'll see what the Eagles can do after this on ESPN+. Well, for now, a beautiful evening at Georgia Southern's Paulson Stadium as we open up Sun Belt Conference play. And then we have plenty of teams still in action right now, but take us through the day so far.
Well, it's been a great day overall. App State currently leading South Alabama. Louisiana took on number 1 Alabama. Didn't go the way they wanted. Troy currently holds the lead over Coastal Carolina. And Georgia State able to defeat Louisiana Monroe 46-14. This is the 3rd straight year that Georgia Southern and Arkansas State open Sun Belt Conference play against each other.
And the kick is away. Inside the 5, here comes Southern. This is Wes Kennedy. Fights his way forward to the 29-yard line. So now here comes the 3rd drive of the game for Georgia Southern. And Danny, I would say they are lucky to have this only be a 3-0 game right now, because in terms of total offense, 154 yards for Arkansas State, just 17 for Southern.
Yeah, they want to pick that up, especially after the last game against Clemson. They only had 80 yards rushing and 60 yards passing against the Tigers in that game.
Shy against Clemson last week, just 2 for 8 passing, 20 yards, and ran for 10. They'll run the option on first. Shy will keep it past the 30-yard line toward the 33. B.J. Edmonds coming in for the tackle, and he got the first down by about a yard.
You know, I find this very interesting, Greg. Just the other day, there was an article that went out about the option, whether it was dying down or being rebirthed. And you're kind of seeing the rebirth here with Georgia Southern with the option.
You can say it never left Statesboro.
For sure. Going all the way back in the 80s with the triple option to help them win 6 FCS championships.
Darren Anderson split to the top of your screen. On first down, the option again, but Shy is going to get dropped for a huge loss that time. And Raheem Bigham on the tackle. That is his second sack of the day and the 4th of the year. That continues to lead the team.
Well, he is an all-conference defensive end. Bigham getting the job done. This has more so been a battle of defenses here throughout the night.
And if you had asked folks what they expected out of this game at the beginning of the week, don't think you would have heard a lot of that. 2nd and 14. Only one safety for A-State. Monteo Garrett, his second touch. Short gain, maybe of 3, setting down 3rd down and about 11 yards here as John Emery made his second tackle.
The interior 7 for Arkansas State once again making a great stop. And in that set, it was going 3-4 differently than their 4-3 defense, Greg.
So we'll likely see Shy Wirtz go to the air again here. So far tonight, only 0 for 1 passing. Has not completed one yet. But he'll try on 3rd and long. Wirtz will run. Dives past the 45, and he's got the first down. And now you can see why he's not only the team's leading passer, also the quarterback, Danny, he's their leading rusher.
Well, he was able to escape the pressure on that play, was able to extend and absorb contact from B.J. Edmonds to get the first.
And I would say pretty effective rushing against Arkansas State as well. Last time he played the Red Wolves here in Paulson last year, 112 yards on the ground. So Southern's now got a little bit of momentum. 8:45 to go until halftime. He'll turn and run the option again. Uses a block nicely. He's into Arkansas State territory. Calling a gain of 4 yards. And no surprise that he was the number 60 dual threat quarterback coming out of high school in the country. And Shy not shy about running the ball, Danny.
Yeah, once again, you see into this game, 256 yards, 5 touchdowns. They're really doing a good job in that option offense for the Eagles. And now you're starting to see Georgia Southern get a couple of plays, move the ball down the chains.
2nd and 6. Kennedy in motion. That'll be the option with Wirtz and Kennedy. Shy's going to pick up another first down for Southern. Down inside the 35-yard line. And the crowd is on their feet inside Paulson Stadium. Danny, the quarterback, is doing it all.
And it's the head fake that always catches the defenders off guard. Here you see once again Shy faking the handoff. And it's that fake pitch to Kennedy that catches defenders off balance. He's able to go through, but I believe there is a penalty on the field that the Eagles are going back.
They're marching this one way back.
Second down and 11 from the 46-yard line.
So we're looking now at 2nd down and 11. Southern doing their best to make sure that the penalty does not stall this momentum they are finally feeling, and more whistles and flags flying in. Georgia Southern will burn their first timeout of the first half with 7:26 to go here in the second quarter. And we'll take it to a break. Southern trying to get on the board after this. Well, this has been a big drive for Georgia Southern already. Entering the second quarter, Danny, they had only had 17 yards of offense on this drive alone, 33.
Well, they had some trouble starting out. The front seven, maybe the defensive line for Arkansas State has been able to limit Georgia Southern on the run game, and you've only seen about 1 or 2 passes from Shy that was off the mark.
So Shy Wirtz and the Eagles looking down 2nd and 11 now. Flanked in the backfield by Wesley Fields. He'll turn and give it to Wesley. Only 6 yards rushing on the night. Now call it 8 as he picks up a gain of 2. And once again, it's going to be a 3rd down and long for Georgia Southern. Eagles only 2nd and 4. Eagles are only 2 for 4 on 3rd down tonight.
And we talked about Raheem Bingham for on the other side for Arkansas State on defensive end, but also William Bradley King. The offensive line has had a hard job trying to stop him on the right side at defensive end, and resulting in a short gain.
Wirtz has not completed a pass yet tonight. He's 0 for 1. But he'll try on 3rd down. He's rushed. He's got Wes Kennedy, and he's got a 1st down. The Benedictine cadet out of Savannah stays on his feet down to the 28-yard line.
And that is pure heart and determination by Wesley Kennedy, able to absorb contact through multiple defenders. First of all, a great pass made by Shy Wirtz.
And you can hear the booing. They are moving this back. This is going to be holding on the offense. So instead of a huge 1st down, this is going to be 3rd down and about 20.
I'm sorry, Greg, but this is the exact opposite of what we've seen from both teams. For Georgia Southern entering the game, leading the Sun Belt in fewest penalties. That's their 4th already in the game.
You talked about it a few minutes ago, Danny. Southern, one of the least penalized teams in America in Division I. 4 big penalties already, and now they'll definitely look to throw probably here on 3rd down and 20. Can they do it again? Pressure comes. Wirtz looks to throw. Now he's past the line of scrimmage, and a flag is all the way back at the 35. He didn't get it. But we'll see who this is on again. But the fact that came out of the backfield looks like it's going to be on Southern again, Danny.
Yeah, I'm afraid it could be on the offensive line. And the boos pick up. And, you see Jacob Cooper there on your screen, upset with the call. That's now 5 penalties, Greg. They entered the game with 9 on the season.
So I have a serious question for you, Danny. We've watched all of these Georgia Southern games so far this year. Is this Southern just finally getting sloppy, or is this a more involved refereeing crew?
I don't think it's either one. I think, it's hard to say. I'm not sure. I can't give you that answer, to be honest with you, Greg.
All right. Well, 3rd down and 28. They have to get up to the Arkansas State 43. Wirtz not going to risk an interception. He's going to run, and that'll end the drive.
I'll give you a third answer. I'll give you a third possible option. Maybe it's just the strength of Arkansas State's defense, as the Eagles have had a hard time trying to stop them.
Yeah, Eagle offense 53 yards. Arkansas State's offense 154 yards. A-State has nearly tripled Southern's offensive output so far. And McGill-Bowerly in to punt it away. Rather, that's Tyler Bass. 1 from the 29. And nothing doing good coverage that time by Southern. And now Arkansas State with a little bit of momentum, looking to go up more than a touchdown. A-State gets the ball back right after this. A hair over 5 minutes to play until halftime here in Statesboro as Justice Hanson leads his Arkansas State team back out there. And the A-State quarterback, Danny, has had a night so far. 12 for 17 passing, 115 yards, and no surprise he's been so effective because last time he played the Eagles, went for over 300 and 4 touchdowns.
And you talk about those 4 touchdowns, but you got to remember, Greg, he also threw 4 interceptions in that matchup as well.
He'll keep it himself on the RPO. Hansen's got a first down. Ball is loose on the field, but it bounces out of bounds. So that will still be a first down for Justice Hansen.
There you see Chad Lunsford giving the sign of approval to Josh Moon, even though Hansen got the first down, and even though the ball went out of bounds, Moon doing the right thing, almost forcing a turnover for the Eagles.
That is the 11th first down of this game already for Arkansas State. Southern still only 3 first downs as they put Javonis Isaac in motion. Pass complete to McInnes up to the 50-yard line. He's got about 3 yards that time. And yet another guy, Danny, that is a transfer player. So many of these guys on A-State have unbelievably interesting stories. He was born in Canada, then went to Dodge City Community College in Kansas, then ended up at A-State.
And you have multiple players from top-level programs.
Hansen dropped for his 4th sack of the first half. That time it was Raymond Johnson III. And Danny, it's only the first half of this game, but this is already the most sacks in a game A-State has given up all season.
Well, this is something you have to prepare for the rest of the year. This isn't non-conference play. This is Sun Belt Conference play, and you have to make a statement for yourself to be the top dog in the conference.
3rd and 14. Hansen's going to let it rip here. Pressure coming. Swings it out to the far side. This is Merritt. Only up to the 50, and once again that will bring up 4th down as Monquavian Brinson made the tackle. Danny, he continues to lead the team.
Yeah, Monquavian Brinson entered the game leading the team with 18 tackles, and he's doing his best to keep the Arkansas State receiving core at bay. You talk about how Justice Hansen has over 150 yards passing, but they've been short passes for minimal gains.
So out comes the punt unit for Arkansas State for only the 2nd time. Wesley Kennedy back to receive at the Southern 10. Sky-high kick only to the 15. Sails out of bounds around the 14-yard line. All right, Danny, this Georgia Southern offense has been pretty limp so far. Only 57 total yards of offense, and none of those coming through the air.
And the Eagles have done a great job on defense. And offensively, they got to get things going.
The Georgia Southern offense retakes the field with inside 3 minutes to play in the first half. Down 3-0 to Arkansas State. Danny, they've only got 57 yards total on offense tonight. What needs to change?
Well, I'll tell you exactly who they need to put in following this first down play.
Nice tease. On 1st and 10, the keeper, now the option pitch to Wes Kennedy. Got a good block from his receiver and a first down up to the 39-yard line. A gain of 10 on that one for the Savannah Wesley Kennedy.
And Kennedy had plenty of space to get the ball up the field. Now, we talked about earlier in the first quarter, Greg, how there's now 6 potential running backs for Georgia Southern. I'm talking about C.J. Wright, the true freshman. 6 foot, 290 pounds, is also a defensive lineman. But in high school at Screven County in Sylvania, Georgia, he was also a running back. And he also ran the ball 5 times against Clemson 2 weeks ago.
Southern moving fast now, new first down. Wirtz to Kennedy for the 2nd play in a row. And for the 2nd play in a row, he's got a first down past the 50-yard line.
Well, Kennedy has gotten things going. We've said that he is a big playmaker. All you need to do is give him some space, and he will do the rest. And he's been able to do so on the last 2 plays.
Not only is Wesley the team's leading receiver with 5 catches at 140 yards, also returns all the kicks, returns all the punts, and now we're seeing him get involved in the running game.
Well, speaking with offensive coordinator Bob DeBest earlier this week, he said he wanted to get more guys involved on the offensive side, and Kennedy is one of them.
Timeout on the field. At Arkansas State. All right, so inside 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We have a tight one on hand in Statesboro, and Danny, I got to say, despite the fact that Southern hasn't scored in this game already, they got to be more happy tonight than what they saw last year.
Yeah, last year was a Wednesday night contest at Paulson Stadium on ESPN2, Sun Belt Conference opener. It was, once again, the Eagles and the Red Wolves. It was pretty back and forth in the first half. There you see Montel Garrett off the pitch from Shot Worth, able to take it to the house. A combined 36 points between both these two teams in the second quarter. But in the second half, it was all Arkansas State.
All right, Southern retakes the field on offense. New first down. Kennedy goes in motion and whistles flags at the line of scrimmage.
So it was a false start that sends the Eagles 5 yards back, and the Eagle fans growing restless with the multiple penalties going on.
Yeah, so now first down and 15 coming up for Southern. The penalty yards really starting to pile up. And Wirtz, despite the fact that he completed a pass that was called back, has only even attempted to throw twice tonight. Pitches outside, gain of about 4 yards that time, and getting his first touch of the night is Malik Murray, one of the wide receivers who has only made one catch of the season.
Well, like I said, another guy trying to get involved in this offense, as head coach Bob DeBest said, leading up to this game.
Smart move for Southern as they continue to get out of bounds. They do have 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Here comes Kennedy again. And another flag to the 40-yard line. That looks like he went in low, Danny. I think that's going to be against Southern again.
And a player down on the field for Arkansas State. That is Darian Jackson, redshirt junior, and he'll get checked on as. Take a look at this previous play. Eagles
Watch
going.
The block. There it is. That's going to be against Jake Edwards, the offensive lineman out of Franklin, Georgia.
Offense number 15. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
And that is also going to be a huge penalty.
You asked this question earlier, Greg, whether the refs were more aware in this game, resulting in more penalties being called. That could be a factor.
Yeah, but I would say this was a certainly correct penalty call.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, this one was not a holding.
Edwards with a bad block there.
And thankfully for A-State, Jackson back to the sideline because they need him. Darian Jackson leads the team in tackles, and entering this game was the number 2 tackler in the conference.
So hopefully he'll be ready to come back out for the second half. I don't see him coming back in the next minute and 42.
Well, it appeared that Georgia Southern had some momentum about 5 minutes ago, but now with second down and 24 to go and only a minute 40 to play, they've got to get a move on. Wirtz to throw. Lobs it up. He's got Wes Fields down the sideline. And Wes Fields has his second touchdown of the year. And Southern is in front for the first time tonight. And the cannons fire.
Beautiful execution by Georgia Southern on that play. One-on-one matchup for Wesley Fields. Had the go route, and Shy Wirtz able to find them. And Wirtz had plenty of time to let it fly.
And Southern's PAT unit out already. They're moving quickly. Tyler Bass to put it through and make it 7-3. And Danny, Chad Lunsford has talked about the power of Paulson And I got to say, the momentum and the feel of this crowd right now, you can really feel it for the first time this year.
Well, it's the momentum that Georgia Southern needed. Every time they came out here on offense, it was like they were going 2 steps forward, but 3 steps back. And this time, the Eagles were able to capitalize off of the previous penalty that sent them back. But Shai Werts, plenty of time in the back of the pocket. Wesley Fields almost had nobody covering him, and it was an easy sprint to the end zone.
A 61-yard touchdown pass from Shai Werts to Wesley Fields.
If anything, Greg, this is a sigh of relief for Georgia Southern. They can hold on to this lead, go into the locker room. They'll come back out with the ball in the second half. It's a step in the right direction for Georgia Southern.
All right. And that was only the second passing touchdown of the year for the Eagles, by the way. Third, rather. As Bass gets ready to put this one in the air. Wand back to receive. He'll try to run this one out from the goal line. Not a whole lot doing that time, up to the 21-yard line.
So now this is going to be a big test for Georgia Southern's defense, because we've already seen Justice Hanson able to move the ball down the field multiple times and just have not been able to convert on 4th downs, and they went for the field goal in their previous possession.
And worth noting, Arkansas State does have 2 timeouts.
So this is pretty much a 2-minute drill for Justice Hanson. You've seen him multiple times in this game throwing short passes for minimal yards.
Is there any other Sun Belt quarterback you would want besides Hanson to run a 2-minute drill, though?
Probably not.
I would say definitely not. So the senior quarterback to lead the team on a 2-minute drill. First down, he dumps it off to Wayway. He'll get out of bounds to the 30-yard line. Not quite the first, but he does stop the clock.
And once again, the offensive line doing a better job on this play to keep Hanson protected. He's already been sacked multiple times in the first half. This time was able to dump it off. Got a couple of yards. Clock stop as well.
All right, so call it a gain of 7 yards. A second down and 3 as the 2-minute drill continues for the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year on offense. Pressure for Hanson. Rolling, throwing. That one hits the turf. It'll bring up 3rd down as he was targeting Omar Bayless.
And even the Eagle defense knows they're not trying to go out and sack Hanson as the flag is on the field.
They got a flag back down to the 21. That smells like holding.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
And this just got a lot harder for Justice Hanson. Turn this in now to second down and 13. He is 15 for 20 so far against Southern tonight. 132 yards through the air. Looking downfield into the seam. He's got Bayless, and he's gotten the first down to the 35. And the clock will temporarily stop while they move the chains at 1 minute to go.
I believe that was zone coverage played by the Eagles, resulting in a man open in the middle of the field for Arkansas State.
On play action, Hanson into the seam again. He connects with Merritt. He's got a first down to the 50-yard line. And now the best quarterback in the Sun Belt is starting to get this car going.
Yeah, and you notice the Eagle, the secondary, really playing back, expecting the deep ball here, but instead Hanson making plays about 10, 15 yards, slowly moving the chains.
On first down to the ground, Wayway, nothing doing. Stopped on the other side of the 50. Logan Hunt made the tackle. And you got to believe they're going to burn a timeout here. And they will. Only one remaining now for Arkansas State. But man, you are seeing on this drive just what makes Justice Hansen such a prolific passer. Last year, like we said, the Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Year, and this year he has been just as good, only 2 touchdowns away from setting the passing touchdowns record at Arkansas State.
Yeah, and the way he's been playing throughout the first part of the season, he could be going for those same numbers as last year, close to 4,000 yards and 37 touchdowns. And his interception ratio is low as well.
And more importantly, Danny, he might also be going for the NFL.
Yeah, he has opened a lot of eyes of NFL prospects.
A lot of scouts say he'd end up in the camp next year of an RPO offensive team like Philadelphia. He'll look to throw on 2nd and 10. Has all day. Far side. Complete pass. Not a first down, though. And Monquavian Brinson in there to make the tackle. No, they say he did get the first down. That'll move it to the 40. And now Hansen is over 200 yards passing on the day in the first half.
Well, he's in for a big game tonight. After the last 3 games, Alabama, Tulsa, and UNLV threw under 200 yards.
And let's point out, last year against Southern, Hansen threw for just a hair over 300. Already a hair over 200 tonight in the first half. It should be noted, though, Georgia Southern has only given up 1 passing touchdown on defense so far this season. Hansen throws one off the hands of Adams. And a big 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's going to be a play Adams doesn't want to look back in the film room after this game. Had plenty of space, just couldn't make the grab.
Arkansas State as a team, 39% on 3rd down this year. Tonight on 3rd down, 50%, 4 for 8. 18 seconds to play in the half. Hansen all day. Down the sideline, knocked away, and there's definitely a holding penalty there. Flag at the 48-yard line. That's going to be against the Red Wolves.
And once again, the impact player in this game, Monquavian Brinson, breaking up the pass. And the holding could be on the right tackle, Noor Adim.
10-yard penalty from the previous
Seen
spot.
the lead.
Repeat 3rd down.
100%.
Holding the defensive end as he was trying to swim his way around for Hansen. And now that messes up all of Arkansas State's plans because they were at least trying to get in the field goal position. But
I was going to say one more pass would have put them in field goal range. All of a sudden, you feel like with 11 seconds, they have time for one more pass, call an immediate timeout, and then try to kick a field goal.
Hansen has to go deep here if he wants to get his team in position.
2 deep safeties for Southern back at their own 20-yard line as Hansen looks to uncork one. He does. Complete pass to the 30. 3 seconds. Hauled in by Bayless. And I'm not sure they got a timeout off.
I don't think so. The clock hit 0.
Southern is running onto the field like Arkansas State didn't call a timeout in time. The referees are holding everybody, though.
This is a full timeout for Arkansas
They're saying
State.
Arkansas State got the timeout off in time. So back on the sideline you go, Eagles. Little premature celebration.
Well, a great job by Justice Hansen on that play to extend the play, for that matter. Find an open man.
And I'm not sure this is college range. He got up to the 32.
Almost a 50-yard field goal.
That's a 50-yard kick. Not a lot of guys in the Sun Belt have that range.
Well, if it's the guy that I think is going to be kicking the field goal, Sawyer Williams, he's over 2 in field goals already this season.
I feel like they're going to trust Justice Hansen here. Hansen's back out. They're going to go for it.
Bold move here by Arkansas State. They want to take the lead before halftime.
2 seconds to play in the first half. Arkansas State looking to take the lead before the break. Southern way deep back into coverage. Here comes pressure. Hansen all day to the end zone. Batted away in a shocking turn. Georgia Southern will take the lead into halftime against Arkansas State at home here on Parents Weekend. Georgia Southern 7, Arkansas State 3. The halftime show coming up right after this on ESPN Plus. We got a good one in the Sun Belt opener. Well, I'm not sure anybody at home saw this game going this way, but halfway through tonight in the conference opener in Statesboro, Georgia, Georgia Southern 7, Arkansas State 3. And one of the reasons the Eagles took the lead, really the reason, was the big touchdown pass from Shai Werts to Wesley Fields. And when you talk to anybody in the national media, the one they keep pointing to as Southern's key player this year is the quarterback, Shai Werts. He is their shining star. He is humble. He is personal. So let's learn a little bit more about him.
My name's Shai Werts. I'm a redshirt sophomore, number 4. I'm a quarterback. I was really all over the place. I was younger, you know what I'm saying, like running back, linebacker, you know how it is middle school. High school, my freshman year, I was free safety quarterback. After that first scrimmage, it was strictly quarterback from then on, a little bit of punt return, kick return when needed. I come from a place, high school, where, you know what I'm saying, on Friday nights, you know what I'm saying, they gonna come to the football game. So I felt like that's what it was about here. They love football, whether you winning or you losing. High school, we won a lot of games, and I wanted to go to the next level, and I wanted to keep winning. And a few weeks ago, we lost everything in the house fire. When it happened, you know what I'm saying, I didn't even put it out. Somehow it got out. The EFA, they started like a way for fans to give money to my family, which has helped out tremendously. And I can never thank them enough for what they have done for me and my family. We've got off to a strong start. We got to continue to build on that each and every week. We cannot become complacent on the wins that we have. I know it's a lot of hype around our program now because of what we've done, what we've accomplished so far in these 3 games, but it don't stop here. We got a long season ahead. We start in conference, so you know we can't get complacent. And it's really go time now because we are in conference, and these are the games that matter the most.
We're here today with Tukey Brown. Tukey, tell us about growing up, how you got into basketball, and your family's support.
Growing up, my family always been there for me when it came to basketball. I always wanted to play, and it's just a game that stuck out to me. My family, they always had my back when it came to this kind of sport. They knew I loved it, and I always had a passion for it.
Tell me about the shot. Last year, buzzer beater, won the game.
It was one of those shots that I told my coach before at timeout before. I told him I wanted the ball in my hands, and all my teammates had the confidence in me when I had the ball. I mean, I just took the shot and it went in.
Let's talk a little bit about the draft. You know, you've come back to Georgia Southern. You went out and explored the draft. Tell us why you wanted to come back.
I kind of just wanted to put my name in there, see where I stand at, what I need to work on from what the scouts and they were telling me. But everything they told me was like a positive thing. So now I just want to come back here and just enjoy my last year, win a bunch of ball games, hopefully win the Sun Belt Championship.
Talk about Georgia Southern. You know, why do you like Georgia Southern? Why do you like playing your best here for Georgia Southern? The
people around the community and stuff like that, it's just a small town. Everybody kind of know each other. Everybody support one another, either sport. It's just one of those fan-type things. I'm in love with the community and everybody around here, and everybody just support one another.
Who in your family's been your biggest supporter?
I'll say my mom and my grandma. They always been there for me through good times and bad times. They always tell me to keep my head up, even if things was going bad. They always been my support, and they just tell me to strive to keep going. It's a good thing's going to happen.
Tell me how you got into, like, when you were little, how did basketball come into the picture?
Basketball, it started around probably I was 3 or 4 years old. My mom gave me the ball, bought my first basketball goal and stuff like that. It got so fun to me where I just started playing it every single day through the rain and sometimes trying to play through the snow. But basketball is one of those games I fell in love with from first sight.
If you got to give somebody, so I'd love to be able to shoot like you can. What kind of lesson would you give me? Can you get me up to speed?
Oh yeah, I can teach you real good. All it takes is a little form and a little release, you'll be all right. So you hold the ball like this right here.
Yep.
You kind of want to bend your knees a little bit.
Yep.
So when you shoot, you want to hold your follow through on your toes. So when you go, so you can have the follow through. So
follow through on my toes.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's right?
Yep.
So it's like this. All right. That's it. Yeah. So you tell me I'm not gonna make the team, right?
No, you can make it.
That's all right.
Well, it was a stormy afternoon in Statesboro, Georgia. Tons of rain and lightning around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But that has given way to a beautiful night here in the Nat Capital for the Sun Belt Conference opener between Georgia Southern and Arkansas State. And as we take a look at some of the first half highlights, Danny, really tight, impressive, hard-fought conference game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see the first half stats right there between both teams. That one 61-yard passing play makes up the 61 yards for the Eagles in the air. Shy Wirtz to Wesley Fields. And I appreciate the aggressiveness from Arkansas State, who's gone for it on 4th down on 3 separate occasions. But in situations where they could have gotten field goals, they should have done that. And they haven't been able to convert on 4th down yet.
And in terms of meaningful stats, the most meaningful stat is not even on this screen. The big meaningful stats, sacks so far. Justice Hansen has gotten rocked multiple times tonight. More importantly, Georgia Southern's defense, despite giving up 192 passing yards, has still not given up a touchdown.
Yeah, and another thing as well that's kind of been a factor in this game is the amount of penalties that Georgia Southern has had. If we look at the first half highlights in this game, even though there have been plenty of passing yards in the air for Arkansas State, no touchdowns in the end zone. And this goes back to one thing defensive coordinator Scott Sloan talks about. Talks about winning the series. Don't worry about winning the game. Focus on winning each specific individual series, which means resulting in having the offense either punt the ball or go for a field goal. And they have done that every single possession. More so with the one field goal you're seeing right there that put them on the board. But every other time, they've gone for it on 4th down, and the Eagle defense has done a great job stopping them. And finally, when things weren't going the right way on the Eagle offense, one deep passing play from Shy Wirtz to Wesley Fields puts the Eagles ahead.
Well, we have an electric atmosphere tonight in Paulson Stadium in the conference opener. Second half, minutes away on ESPN+. Back to begin the second half of this Sun Belt Conference season opener on ESPN+. Georgia Southern 7, Arkansas State 3. Well, one of the reasons A-State has won the conference 5 of the last 7 years is because they are so good on the road in conference, Danny. They have won 24 of their last 29 conference road games. They're going to make a run here in the second half.
And that's really important. It's one thing to win at home, but can you go into enemy territory and dig out a victory? That's why they've been Sun Belt Conference champions 5 times in the last decade.
Okay, so Georgia Southern's offense will come out to begin the second half with a 7-3 lead, and their offense looked a little bit better in the second quarter. There was a time where Arkansas State had about 150 yards on offense, and Georgia Southern had about 20 yards on offense. As we begin the second half, A-State 235, Southern back up to a more respectable 160.
Well, I know one thing that Coach Lunsford probably hammered on his offense in the locker room was the amount of penalties that they produced. They need to limit that in the second half. They want to be able to move the ball on offense.
First play of the second half for Southern. Goes absolutely nowhere. Handoff up the middle. Does nothing. Second down and long.
Now, while there are a lot of penalties that the Eagles have produced on offense, on the other hand, Arkansas State's defensive line have just made it extremely difficult for the Eagles to get anything going on the running game.
Only 98 yards rushing for Southern. 61 yards passing, but that all came on the one touchdown pass to Westfields. On second down, handoff goes up the middle to Logan Wright. First series we have seen him in this game. He's up to the 29-yard line. That'll bring up third down in about 7 yards. Well, Danny, I'm surprised if they're bringing in different running backs. I'm surprised they're bringing in Logan Wright and not CJ Wright.
Well, there's still plenty of time left to go in the second half, and we could see him get the ball if it is a quick decision.
All right, third down and 7. Garrett and Fields in the backfield there with Shy. He'll look to throw. 1 for 2 passing so far, and he's going to go down with a sack. Once again, it is Raheem Bingham, and that is his 3rd sack of the night.
Well, he's already been a Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Week before, and he's making a great case to get that award for the 2nd time this season. Another sack for Bingham.
In call it now 5 sacks for him on the season, and Southern was craving a nice long drive to extend their lead to begin the second half. Instead, it's a brutal 3-and-out. Good snap to Bass. Kick is away. 40-yard line. Fair catch. A-State will take it at the 41-yard line. And Danny, there are a lot of milestones that you can talk about tonight. Maybe Justice Hansen, maybe on the Georgia Southern team. But really the big one we are happy to talk about tonight is one on the Arkansas State sideline.
That's right. Athletic trainer Ron Carroll is on his 500th straight game for Arkansas State. He joined the team back in 1976. Only 1 missed practice, and he's gotten many accolades. He is the first certified athletic trainer for the Red Wolves to have on staff within the National Athletic Trainers Association Hall of Fame in 2003, the Arkansas State Hall of Honor in 2005. He's also an instructor on campus for different athletic training courses.
Arkansas State's first play of the second half is a pass to Kirk Merritt. He scoots his way past the 50-yard line. Not sure if he got the first. It looks like he did. He got 11 yards on the play. That'll move the chains.
And another thing about Ron Carroll, this is the 4th time that Georgia Southern and Arkansas State has played each other. Tonight, the previous 2 years, and in 1986, where these two teams met in the Division I AA National Championship game.
Second play of the half. This is to Warren Wand. Halfback dives ahead to the 41-yard line. That'll bring up second down and 3. And Wand, despite the fact that he's one of 3 running backs in the stable for A-State, he's really impressive. One of just 14 running backs in Red Wolves history to go over 2,000 yards in his career.
Yeah, a great milestone there. There's a player down for Georgia Southern. That is Todd Bradley, who came in as the starting linebacker, replacing Tamarcio Reese, who went down to an injury a few weeks ago.
Oh, he appears to be in serious pain. Back after this on ESPN+. You can see Georgia Southern head coach Chad Lunsford and Todd Bradley walking off the field as he went down and appeared to be in serious pain. He was in there tonight in the starting lineup as the replacement for Tamarcio Reese, who was injured today, but unfortunately, Danny, Todd's got a long history of injury, even just this year.
Yeah, if you're a Georgia Southern fan, you've got to be hurting right now for Todd Bradley, a guy that's overcome adversity multiple times throughout his career. In high school, he had a rare form of skin cancer. He had to have surgery for that. Tore his ACL 2 years ago as a true freshman. Suffered an injury in the second day of practice this year. Had minor knee surgery.
Marcel Murray up to the 37-yard line. Looked like he reached across and picked up the first down on that play.
And we're hoping, Greg, that it's not a serious injury once again for Bradley. As you saw before we took a break, he just slammed his hand on the ground, just thinking that it might not be good.
And Arkansas State will move fast here on their opening drive of the second half. Hansen, play action. Connects with McInnes on the far side. Shoved out of bounds. Gain of 6 yards. And I'll say this, Danny. Georgia Southern had all the momentum in the world heading into halftime. But after the opening 3 and outs and the subsequent injury of Todd Bradley, Arkansas State has it all back on their side right now. Southern looks to be on their heels. Second and short. Hansen, middle of the field again. Southern's defense gets burned in the middle. The ball is on the ground. It appears Southern has it inside the 5. And they do. Southern's going to get it back. Rashad Bird fell on the ball.
Well, you just talked about the momentum going to Arkansas State, but now the Eagles able to fight back. First of all, a great pass by Justice Hansen in the middle, but a great job stripping the ball and recovering the fumble.
Yeah, Javonis Isaac was the man who made the catch upfield and then stripped loose. And this is the exact kind of momentum sway that the Georgia Southern defense needed to give their team. But now, Southern's really got to get their offensive line working here, because their offense takes over inside the 5-yard line. Wesley Fields flanking shy in the backfield. Wirtz will keep it on first down. And he's dropped for a loss on the play by Justin Clifton, the senior DB. We have seen sacks all over the field tonight by both defenses. 5 already allowed by Arkansas State, and Southern's offensive line rapidly approaching that as well.
And Shy tried to get past. He had a good block by Ellis Richardson, but Justin Clifton able to hang on and make the tackle.
Second and 11. Monteo Garrett could have turned that one into a touchdown. Instead, he will settle for going past the 10-yard line, turning it into a manageable 3rd down and short. Monteo just took his 4th carry of the night. Now calling about 10 yards total for him.
Well, the most important thing is that he gave Shy Wirtz some space to work in the back.
This would be a big first down for Southern, because even if they eventually have to punt on this drive, getting further away from your own end zone, always preferable. Third and 3. Garrett dropped to the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up a punting situation on 4th down. Okay, Danny, this Arkansas defense not here to play games in the second half.
Well, they weren't playing games in the first half either. The defensive line, on both sides for that matter, has been excellent throughout this game. And once again, another 3rd down stop, preventing Garrett from getting the first.
So Tyler Bass back in the Eagles' end zone to punt this one away. And Warren Wand back to receive just on the A-State side of the 50. He's running all the way back. He'll take it from the 30. And he's going to turn upfield, and he's got a lot of space. Cuts to the outside. Warren Wand inside the 40, and a tremendous return for him, a 40-yard punt return before the kicker, Tyler Bass, pushed him out of bounds. So A-State's got the momentum back on their side. It is a swinging pendulum. They'll try to punch it into the end zone for the first time tonight, right after this on ESPN+. As Arkansas State comes back out, Dan, we talked about him a minute ago, but Ron Carroll is 500th game as athletic trainer on the sidelines. What a distinguished career.
Yeah, an incredible career for him. 500 games, joined the staff in 1976, has been there pretty much from the very beginning. Does a lot for the team and the university as a instructor for different athletic training courses, also a clinical instructor. Only missed 1 practice. About 40-plus years.
Hansen on play action, connects with Bayless. He's inside the 15-yard line and spins down to the 13. Okay, here comes Arkansas State. The Georgia Southern defense has only allowed 1 passing touchdown so far this year, and Justice Hansen would like to change that. He's going to keep it. Down inside the 10 toward the 7.
And this is going to be the first true test for Georgia Southern. Arkansas State finally in the red zone.
Arkansas State has scored 6 touchdowns on 11 red zone trips this year. Hansen, by the way, only one touchdown pass away from tying the passing touchdown career record at Arkansas State. Hands off to Murray. The true freshman is spun down for a loss by Jay Bowdry, the safety. Third down coming up.
So a tough task for Georgia Southern. Red zone defense. It was 3rd and 5 and the ball's on the 8. You would expect Hansen to try and throw it in, but also expect possibly like a short pass just to get the first down.
The Southern defense has allowed a lot of yards tonight, but no touchdowns yet. Hansen on the RPO. He'll run and get just back to around the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down again as Logan Hunt made the tackle. So what do? They will send out the kick unit.
That's what I was wanting to see if Arkansas State was going to try and go for it on 4th down here. And
look at all the coverage on this play, Danny. Great coverage. Blake Grupe in to kick it away. Call it a 27-yard attempt. And it's a 1-point game here in Statesboro. Arkansas State entering this game tonight, favored by, depending on where you looked, either 3 or 3.5 points. When we were talking to Coach Chad Lunsford this week and his staff, Danny, they kept saying, if this game is close down the stretch, we can win it. They'll take 7-6.
Absolutely. They get the ball right back. And once again, it's all about winning the series. Another series ending in a field goal. And let's take a look at this Sun Belt scoreboard so far. All previous 4 games have been completed. 3 of those 4 are conference matchups, the other being Louisiana against number 1 team Alabama. Arkansas State knows about how good Alabama has been this season. You look at the rest, Troy defeating Coastal Carolina, Georgia State against Louisiana Monroe getting the win there, and App State beating South Alabama. All these other games have been dominantly one-sided. This is the only Sun Belt Conference matchup tonight that can go either way.
Yeah, all the favorites winning heavily there. And when we said off the top of the broadcast, this was the game of the day in the Sun Belt Conference, we meant it. Kennedy from the 3. The Savannian looking for space, and he's got none. He's only up to the 11-yard line, and the A-State unit comes up big again on defense. How has Georgia Southern come out so deflated in the second half, Danny?
Well, the first series didn't go well for them, and then on the other side, Arkansas State was able to score. I mean, they just have to stay consistent here on this drive, try to move the ball down the field. If you can get points on the board and continue to run off the clock, you would have done your job going into the 4th quarter.
So new 1st and 10. C.J. Wright, the big boy, is in at running back, but they won't give it to him. Wirtz will throw. Incomplete pass as he dumped it off to the side that time to Logan Wright. But okay, Danny, we were waiting all day to see where is Logan Wright, where is C.J. Wright. Unfortunately, he's trotting off the field, but they had him in.
Well, he's a great threat, and this isn't something that they tried to develop in just a matter of weeks. This has been months in advance preparing C.J. Wright to be a part of this Eagle offense. Ran the ball in high school at Screven County in Sylvania, Georgia. Coach Lunsford told the offensive coordinator, Bob the Best, to say, hey, look at this guy. I want this guy to possibly run the ball, and they saw him, and he was right.
Speaking of running the ball, Shai Wirtz up to the 30, a huge gain that time, nearly 20 yards. Jerry Jacobs the one to bring him down.
And Shai landing hard on the ground. So you take a look here, fakes the handoff, went with the option, faked the pitch, kept it himself, was able to get good yardage.
Ooh, his head went down hard.
Trying to get past Derek Bean. And for just one play, we'll see LeBaron Anthony for the first time this season, Greg.
So Wirtz goes out for the play hard. LeBaron Anthony at quarterback, probably just for 1 or 2 plays. Ellis Richardson in motion. Now Kennedy in motion. Up the middle they go to Fields. He's still on his feet toward the 50-yard line. And for the first time tonight on offense, Danny, some real driving momentum for Southern.
Well, offensive coordinator Bob DeBest said that they've only had 2 plays where they've gone for 30 yards or more. And, you know, as productive as offense can be, that's kind of unacceptable, knowing that Georgia Southern can go for some big plays. And Wesley Fields already with a touchdown reception in the second quarter for a great run to put the Eagles at close to midfield.
Obi Fortune and Darian Anderson split as the wide receivers. Out of the Maryland I. The option. Pitch to Kennedy. Up to the 42-yard line. Looks like he got the first down by just a couple of inches as B.J. Edmonds made the tackle.
And now you're starting to see some momentum by Georgia Southern.
He didn't get the first down, inches short. Second down and short.
They also shy back in after taking that 1 play off.
Second down and less than a yard for Georgia Southern. And the offense finally has some juice. Wirtz will keep and pick up the first down to the 36-yard line. Shai Wirtz now over 50 yards rushing on the day. He has done that now in every game this season besides Clemson. I'd expect him to run some more too. Last year against Arkansas State, ran for 112. Option again on first down. Shai will keep it again to the middle of the field. Wirtz is in. And that's his 8th touchdown of the season. And the sophomore quarterback has Paulson Stadium back to life in the third quarter.
And as the cannons blast here inside Paulson, Wirtz has woken up this Georgia Southern crowd. And also a great job by Jacob Cooper, the right guard, pulling on the other side to get a block as there's a player down the field for Arkansas State.
Unfortunately, for the moment, we are unable to get a number on that Arkansas State player. Now we do. It's number 91.
Donovan Ransom, the senior from Garland, Texas.
Well, he's starting to move. That's the good news. And I would say, Danny, after a pretty limp start to the second half by Georgia Southern, we are now set up for a pretty darn good finish.
Yeah, now since both teams have gone to the locker room and figured out what they needed to do to adjust in the second half, as Ransom able to make it to his feet and can make it off the field on his own will. Now that both teams have looked at the pros and cons of the first half, they further know how to execute here in the second half. And Georgia Southern did a great job answering the field goal by Arkansas State and overcoming adversity here in the second half.
So Tyler Basson to make it a 14-6 game. This would ensure that if Arkansas State was able to score a touchdown later on, that would also mean a 2-point conversion was necessary to tie. Here's Bass. He's got it. And it's an 8-point game, and that gives Southern, Danny, a little bit of extra cushion. And that'll take us to break. 14-6, and Southern is rolling at home to begin the second half. Well, if you're pulling for Georgia Southern tonight here on ESPN Plus, that last drive was exactly what you wanted to see. Now an 8-point lead on top of Arkansas State here in the 2018 Sun Belt Conference home opener. Danny, all week, Chad Lunsford has been in the fraternities, the sororities, begging people to come out for this game, talking about the power of Paulson. You can feel it right now.
Well, one thing he's always talked about as well is show up, because we're going to show out. And they have shown out so far for 14-6 lead.
Wand from the A and Eagles. He'll go down on a knee. And Arkansas State will bring their offense back out. Well, Justice Hansen, their senior quarterback, we talked off the top of the broadcast, Danny, about how he's been chasing history. 2 more touchdown passes, and he will be the new all-time passing touchdowns leader at Arkansas State. They've yet to score 1 as a team tonight. In case you're just joining us, all 6 points for Arkansas State. Field goals.
He's got to hopefully get the ball in the end zone if he wants to give his team a chance. He's done great throughout the game, over 250 passing yards, but none in the end zone.
No touchdowns, no interceptions. He'll swing it off to Wayway. Spins ahead for a gain of about 4 yards on that play. And Randy Wade Jr. made the tackle.
And that's how he's been getting those yards, making short passes. Finds Wayway on the flat route. He's able to move up and gain 4.
Well, and so efficient as well. Hansen now 24 for 31 passing. Same one outside. This is McInnes. Dives ahead. He's still going to be about a yard short of the chains. Rather, that was Kirk Merritt, my mistake on the catch. That is his 7th catch of the night. He continues to lead the team. 3rd down in the yard. Hansen with an empty set. Weird formation. He's only got 3 offensive linemen. He's going to run along the outside, and I believe he got that up to the 36.
I've never seen that formation before, ever.
I would have. I guess I've never looked at the record book. I would have assumed that was an illegal formation. But down Arkansas State.
That's unique, but nonetheless, it got the job done.
So here comes A-State. Southern hit him for a touchdown, and they're angry. Wayway runs angry. Got a first down to the 50-yard line. A gain of 14 yards.
And that's the longest run of the night so far for Arkansas State. They've made short runs throughout the game.
Yeah, A-State's only run for about 60 yards tonight. They passed for about 260, so it's been much easier going through the air for them.
And now I have a player down for Georgia Southern. And I believe that is Rashad Bird, the other linebacker.
That would be about as bad as it gets, because not only at the start of this game, where we alerted that Tamarcio Reese, their star linebacker, would be out, then also minutes ago, Todd Bradley went to the sideline with an injury. This would be 3 out linebackers for Georgia Southern.
We'll make it 4, because as well as Tamarcio Reese being out, Chris Harris Jr., the backup linebacker for Rashad Bird, was announced inactive earlier. So now your 2 linebackers, your starting linebacker and your backup linebacker goes down. So, if you're going down on the depth chart, you're looking at Trey Allen, and they're going to have to move some guys around. They moved Bradley from behind Bird to the other linebacker position, replacing Tamarcio Reese, and this will be interesting to see how Georgia Southern tries to stop Arkansas State on offense.
Hansen will keep it himself. Up to the 45, picks up about 6 yards, and we now have exactly 15 minutes of football left to play here in the Sun Belt Conference opener. Southern pulling an upset so far, 14-6. But Danny, I'll tell you, anytime that bad man, Justice Hansen's on the field quarterbacking, I feel like A-State could break a play at any time. He won't on this play as they go to the ground, and it goes nowhere, bringing up third. But A-State, all it takes is one play.
Yeah, one big play for that matter. I mean, we've talked about how Georgia Southern will give up the 8-yard screen plays or 5-yard flat routes, but they don't want to give up a deep ball. And we haven't seen that much throughout this game.
Third down and 3. This is a big one. A-State 5 for 11 on third down tonight. Back to the ground. And he's not going to get there. The Southern defense comes up big. And they force a fourth. It was Jay Bowdry on the tackle, alongside Trey Allen, the backup coming in off the bench.
And Trey Allen putting the team on his back. While other linebackers have been hurt in this game, Trey Allen has been trying to hold down the fort.
Arkansas State is going to go for it on fourth down again. They are 0 for 3 on fourth down tonight. And what a time to come up big for their first fourth down conversion. It's Jonathan Adams putting them down inside the 15.
I think Hansen thought he just got a free play because right before the snap, one of the defensive linemen almost crossed the line of scrimmage. So Hansen just said, well, let me throw it up to my guy. He was able to come down with the pass, and once again, the Red Wolves are in the red zone.
Arkansas State not a great red zone team this year. 6 for 11 so far. Well, now 6 for 12. Complete pass along the outside. Here goes Merritt, and he's into the end zone, and Arkansas State is back within 2. And Justice Hansen, the Arkansas State quarterback, has just tied the record for career passing touchdowns in the Arkansas State program.
A big congratulations to Hansen. And just as I suspected, Greg, they're going to go for it on 2. Go for the conversion, try to tie it up going into the fourth quarter, and it'll be a brand new ball game.
They've got the momentum. Here comes Hansen for the tie. Back of the end zone, complete to Bayless. The 2-point conversion is good. And we got ourselves a tie ball game with 12 minutes and 53 seconds to play in the Sun Belt opener. Danny, this one's going down to the wire, buddy. It's good.
Yeah, and great pass to Bayless. Had a lot of space in the back of the end zone. And, you know, this could go either way. I mean, there are plenty of pros and cons to going for it on 2. If he didn't complete the 2-point conversion, Arkansas State defense goes out there, forces a 3 and out, and then all you do is get a field goal to take the lead. However, they were able to complete it. And this could honestly go either way. This could go down to the final play of the game. 9-play, 75-yard drive as the Red Wolves were able to move down the field in less than 4 minutes.
Kennedy will let it sail out of bounds. Stayed in bounds. So to the 20-yard line they go. 53 seconds to play here in the third quarter. So, Danny, we are set up for a great finish. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Arkansas State. In many ways, this program is on the verge of history. In fact, as a program, only one more game to 1,000.
Yeah, 999 all-time games. Game number 1,000 couldn't be any better. Under the bright lights on a Tuesday night against Appalachian State in Sun Belt Conference play.
That's a good game.
It is. And you look at just how much of a standard Arkansas State has made in the Sun Belt. They have the most Sun Belt victories out of any team since 2001. 78 wins. They're trying to make it 79. if they can beat the Eagles.
And they have won the conference 5 of the last 7 years. To begin the drive, Southern goes to Fields, and it goes absolutely nowhere. Dragging him down that time, Bingham. Danny, he has been everywhere.
We talked about Justice Hansen being a great prospect for the NFL, but I think Bingham could be a great pass rusher in the NFL as well.
Big prediction.
Hey, he's had a big game on the defensive side. I know I didn't list him as one of the impact players, but he is a former Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, shame on you, Danny. How is he not in your impact play?
Oh, I'll take the blame for
Where's
that
your
one.
home? Okay, 2nd down and 10. This might be the go-ahead touchdown for Wesley Fields. He's chased down to the 5-yard line. And 2 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Jeremy Smith caught up with him.
And that is the big play that the Eagles needed going into the 4th. They will have the momentum on their side as time expires here in the 3rd. Fields able to find the hole, bust through, had plenty of open space. It was a foot race from there. You got to give credit to Jeremy Smith from going all the way, beating out his own teammates to make the tackle.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. 14-14, but on the other side of this break on ESPN Plus, Southern's got it in the red zone, and they are 9 for 11 scoring touchdowns in the red zone this year. It's going to be a good one. Stay here. Georgia Southern and the Arkansas State red zone to begin the 4th quarter of the 2018 Sun Belt Conference opener for both teams. The Eagles, as an offense, 9 for 11 scoring touchdowns in opposing red zones so far this year. And to begin the 4th, it's Monteo Garrett, and the senior from Talladega, Alabama, puts Southern back in the lead. Danny, the defense was completely fooled.
Had me fooled as well, Greg. Great misdirection handoff by Shy Wertz, getting Monteo Garrett, had plenty of space, bouncing outside to his right.
Pass to make it 7. He barely got that one inside the left goalpost. Okay, so Arkansas State scores a touchdown, and Southern hits back less than 3 minutes later. What a response.
Well, the first half, it was all defense. Second half has been all offense, for both sides for that matter. Justice Hansen getting a touchdown pass. Monteo Garrett running it inside. How about Wesley Fields with a big run to end the 3rd quarter to set up the touchdown here by Garrett?
And the important number, as you see, Chad Lunsford, we talked to him about this week, Danny. They are now 10 for 12 scoring touchdowns on red zone trips. They are 11 for 12 scoring if you include the field goal they put in against UMass in week 2. One of the most effective red zone teams in America. And they are on their feet in Paulson Stadium. Over an 80% winning percentage in these friendly confines since the program came back in the 1980s. And this place is rocking, folks. Bass puts it in the air. Out of the back of the end zone. 20-yard line here for Arkansas State. And anytime Justice Hansen is on the field, they got a chance to tie it. But the Southern defense looks pretty good in the first half.
Well, head coach Chad Lunsford said that this matchup against Arkansas State was going to be a statement game for them. After what happened the last 2 seasons in Sun Belt Conference play, didn't go the way they wanted. You got to remember, this is a Georgia Southern team in their first year in the Sun Belt. 2014, they won the conference championship. 2015, they reached and won their first bowl game. They want to get back to where they were before. And it starts here tonight.
And on first down, Hansen up to the 25-yard line, nothing doing. He's back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. And Dan, we said at the beginning of the game, Hansen is a player that a lot of NFL scouts are saying has a future in the NFL and an RPO system. He showed off some real RPO skills tonight.
Yeah, already over 300 yards passing, got a couple of rushing yards in there as well. He's been able to move the ball down the field, finding multiple receivers. He's got to do the same thing here on this possession if he wants to keep Arkansas State close.
2nd down and 9 for the senior quarterback. Comes near side on play action, completes it to McInnes. He's going to be short past the 30-yard line. So a 3rd down coming up.
Good job by Ty Phillips on the outside, who came in for Logan Hunt, who was down for a moment. Got a hand up. Blurring the vision of Hansen by just a little bit, but nonetheless, Hansen completes the pass.
Arkansas State 5 for 7 tonight on 3rd down. McInnes, the only wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. Big 3rd down. Pressure coming. This is the freshman Murray. He dives ahead. It looks like he got the 1st down as he went head over heels past the 35.
And the one thing it seemed like Georgia Southern was more concerned about were the receivers. They pretty much almost forgot about their running back. Got a lot of guys playing zone coverage. And Murray had an opening to get the 1st.
13-20 to play. Hansen on play action. Down the sideline. Adams couldn't hold on to it. 2nd down.
And look who's there to break it up, Monquavy and Brinson. We saw him more so in the 1st half. And he's got to lead this Eagles secondary here in the 4th if the Eagles want the win.
What makes Brinson the best cornerback that he is? Why is he so good?
Well, the ability to defend the deep ball is what we've seen so far in this game. I don't believe we've seen an Arkansas State receiver make a big play when covered by Brinson.
It's been a lot of 15-yard plays for A-State. Back to the play-action pass. That's a complete one to Kendrick Edwards, the transfer receiver in from the University of Arkansas. And once again, it was Brinson bringing him down. 3rd down and 5 coming up. A-State now 6 for 13 on 3rd down. They've already converted once this drive. They're on their feet in Paulson. Hansen. Off the hands of Edwards and incomplete. No flags coming in. 4th down coming up. And A-State has loved to go for it on 4th down tonight. But they won't risk it here.
And Edwards shaking up a bit as he got hit trying to go up to make the catch.
And that was a bad throw by Hansen. He floated it high. Big punt coming up. No pressure from Southern. Kennedy, fair catch. 23-yard line. So one more touchdown from Southern might put this one out of reach in the 4th quarter. We'll see what they do on the other side of this commercial break in the 4th quarter on ESPN+. Well, the Red Wolves are down a touchdown to Georgia Southern, and they got to focus on this game first, Danny, but it does not get any easier after this.
Yeah, they have Appalachian State in a Tuesday night game back in Jonesboro, then Georgia State. All Sun Belt Conference opponents, and the difference between the 5 years that they've won the conference championship, they have not played a conference championship game, and we have that for the first time this season on December 1st.
All right, Georgia Southern back out leading by a touchdown. 12:30 to go in this game. And to begin the drive, though, on the option, Wirtz will keep it dragged down at the 25-yard line. 2-yard gain. And no horse collar tackle foul, which is what they were calling for, as Bingham made the tackle yet again.
Yeah, and nonetheless, here, this is a big-time possession for Georgia Southern because They're known to run the clock out a lot. If they can run off 5 or 6 minutes and also finish up with a field goal or a touchdown, they could potentially put this game away.
Second down and 8 yards to go. Only one true safety. This appears to be man coverage for A-State. Wirtz to keep. It'll be dragged down again. It's Bingham again. You have got to be kidding me. He is having the game of his life after entering this game with 2 sacks. That is now his 3rd sack of the day.
Remember that name, Greg, in case he gets called up to the podium in June or in April.
No kidding.
Because he is having a statement game of his own.
3rd down and 13. Shai Wirtz through the air tonight. 1 for 3 passing. He's going to tuck and run. He's got space, but not enough space. 30-yard line, but flags are coming in. This is going to be a late hit and a 1st down.
And I think the foul may be on Obi Fortune. He came in.
Oh, do you think so?
And put a lick on the player down right now.
I thought I saw Wirtz get hit late too.
Well, we're going to see. Pay attention to what happens right before Shai Wirtz goes out of bounds. Right here.
Oh,
helmet to helmet by Obi Fortune.
No,
I think
right.
That's going to be targeting.
That's my mistake. I was watching the wrong thing, folks.
I can't disagree with this.
Personal foul, targeting. Offense number 9. The previous play is under further review.
And I understand they have to review the play to confirm it, but
I don't think this is going to change.
You don't have to go to the replay booth to see that. That was clear targeting. I appreciate the effort by Obi Fortune trying to create space for Shai Wirtz to get the 1st down because it's a big 3rd down conversion for the Eagles. However, you can't just go helmet to helmet like that.
And this is going to be hard because even though they have not targeted Obi Fortune yet tonight, he is still the number 2 returning receiver from last year. He's a big part of this offense.
And he even made a big-time play against Clemson a few weeks ago.
As a quarterback, no less.
As a quarterback, threw a 40-yard pass along the passing play for Georgia Southern. And it's just, you look at it again, you appreciate the effort by Fortune.
After further review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. The number 9 for Georgia Southern is disqualified.
That almost hurts to look at, doesn't it?
I'm just happy that Darian Jackson's able to walk off the field on his own.
This really hurts to look at.
Just pure helmet to helmet. And I don't think it was intentional. You see Fortune trying to lean in there with his shoulder, but his helmet clips the other helmet of the player.
So Arkansas State will decline the penalty, bring up 4th down, and Southern will punt. And it will stay, for now at least, a 1-possession game here in Statesboro. High bouncer, Southern bounce. Down to the 22-yard line. I don't know what Warren Wong thought he was saving there in terms of yardage. Seems a little unnecessarily risky. Okay, so out comes Arkansas State again. They have only scored 1 actual touchdown tonight, although it is 21-14. That is because they have 2 field goals, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion.
And the Eagles try to hold on to this game and look at the upcoming schedule for Georgia Southern. Next week, they take on South Alabama in homecoming.
They got to finish out this one first, though. Hansen through the air tonight has torched him for 325 yards and a touchdown. Gives it up the middle to Juan as he cuts. Got a gain of about 2 yards that time up to the 25-yard line. And CJ right on the tackle. And one is slow to get up. And this is a guy who's taken licks the last couple of weeks. Led the team in rushing against Alabama a couple weeks ago. So you know his body's gotten rocked, Danny.
Yeah, you take a look at here to see what happened. He got tripped up and then he was smothered, and I believe that it was CJ Wright along with one of the offensive linemen from Arkansas State that fell on one as he went down. He's able to get up. And we'll either see Armand Wewe or Marcel Murray next to Hansen.
Got to imagine it'll be more Marcel Murray. He does lead the team in rushing tonight. 35 yards for Arkansas State. Calling a loss on the play, so second down and 11 here for A-State. Hansen to throw. Comes quick to McInnes. 31-yard line. Third down and 2 yards coming up here. McInnes, his 7th catch of the night. He's been everywhere.
And these out routes by the receivers have been the saving grace for Arkansas State on offense.
4 receivers to the near side.
Expect the receiver screen.
Only Adams to the top of your screen. They come back to Merritt. Dives toward to the 32. I think he's going to be a yard short.
Well, I called it right there. You got 4 receivers on the right side. You're going to one of them. The other 3 are blockers.
Arkansas State has already gone for it tonight 4 times on 4th down. And it looks like they're going to do it again. Talk about a gutsy team.
Very gutsy, especially that since they're back at the 30 and they don't get this, Georgia Southern has great field position.
Arkansas State is 1 for 4 on 4th down tonight, and they're going to go for it again in the 4th quarter. Hansen to Wewe to the 34.
I think he got it.
He got it by inches. He snuck under the line. And they are now 2 for 5 on 4th down. And here's the thing. The coaches, Danny, they know if Southern gets the ball back because of the way they run the clock, it might be over. They think they have to score on this drive. On 1st down to Merritt. Brought down by the neck at the 39-yard line, gain of about 5 yards. Josh Moon, the aggressive tackle.
Well, once again, they go to that wide receiver screen to Merritt for the 2nd time, and he's able to gain a couple of yards.
Second down and 5. Play. Hansen. Tipped away again by Monquavian Brinson. He's the MVP tonight on defense.
Another deflection. And, you know, you notice that when Justice Hansen's throwing the ball, he's throwing it away from the side of Brinson to try to get some yards. And when he goes towards his side, Brinson's there to break it up.
3rd down again. Listen to this home crowd, folks. Arkansas State 6 for 15 on 3rd down tonight. Hansen, pressure, low throw, Merritt, and a 1st down to the 47-yard line. That is now his 11th catch of the night. Hansen's favorite target by a mile.
Well, this time instead of the screen, they got him on the slant route going towards the middle. Plenty of space. He's able to make the catch and almost gets the ball towards the 50.
Pumpson looks downfield. He's got Bayless for a 1st down inside the 40. Justice Hansen now over 350 yards passing tonight.
Now, for a moment there, I thought Hansen was going to go deep. Sometimes when you see that fake wide receiver screen, you see a guy on the go route heading towards the end zone. But nonetheless, a great play. More yards for the Red Wolves. They're getting closer to the red zone.
Now bringing a blocking tight end into the formation. Hansen looks to throw again. Down the sideline, it's Adams, nearly intercepted by Monquavian Brinson. Defensive MVP, I'll say it again.
Like defensive coordinator Scott Sloan has said leading up to this game, they don't care about giving up. If they give up 5-yard plays, it's the deep ball they're concerned about, and Brinson's done a great job here tonight.
Second down and 10. Inside 8 minutes to play. Arkansas State looking to tie. This is Brandon Bowling. Gain of about 2 yards, smothering defense. And that'll bring up once again a big third down. And Rashad Berg back in after a temporary injury to make the tackle. Third down and 8 yards. Arkansas State 7 for 16 on third tonight. Hansen. Off the hands of Adams. It's going to be another Arkansas State fourth down. And what will they do this time? They're going to stay on the field again.
Yeah, you kind of have no choice there but to go for it. And Hansen had plenty of time in the pocket. We'll see if he'll have that same amount of time here on fourth down.
Fourth down and 8. Not converting would be devastating for this Red Wolves team. They are 2 for 5 tonight on fourth down and already converted once this drive. Hansen. Rolling, running, and converting inside the 30. That is the second time this drive they've converted on fourth down, Danny.
Well, Hansen had plenty of time to run on his left side as the Eagle defensive line, the way they were shifted, they were on their left. They sent a linebacker in the blitz and Lane Ecton, but Hansen able to beat out Ty Phillips to get the first down.
We are approaching the 6:30 mark. Marcel Murray, the true freshman out of Hiram, Georgia, down inside the 20-yard line.
And I believe that shoestring tackle prevented a Arkansas State touchdown.
And this should worry Southern that A-State is in the red zone. Every red zone trip for both teams tonight has resulted in a score. Hansen. That is a complete pass for the first time tonight to Jalaz Aziz Jr., tight end. Third down and 4 after the loss. Southern's defense did a big thing that time.
And
we appear to have an injury timeout. That is Ian Bush.
Redshirt senior from Port Charlotte, Florida. May have tweaked his knee on that play, and he'll head to the side. Big time play for Arkansas State. It's third down and 4. And Hansen could be thinking end zone.
Third down and 4 yards. They have converted so many times on this drive. Hansen will look to throw. He will tuck and run and get the first down again inside the 5-yard line. And Arkansas State is on the move.
You know, we've seen quarterbacks taking matters into their own hands in this game. Hansen could have easily just got the 4 yards and slid. But instead, he got the first down and then some. Had some open space, breaking 1-2 tackles before Josh Moon gets him down.
Every red zone trip for both teams has ended up in points tonight. As Hansen will tuck and run and make it a 1-point game. We got a good one, folks. 5 minutes to play, and it's 21-20.
And the key play there was the block by one of the offensive linemen to help Hansen get inside the end zone. His second rushing touchdown of the season.
This would tie the game. Here's Grupe. Nearly blocked. It's 21-21. 5:07 to play. And we're going to take it to one last commercial break on ESPN Plus. Don't you dare go anywhere. The climax is minutes away. Well, it doesn't get much better than this for the Sun Belt Conference opener in Statesboro, Georgia. The Eagle fans are feeling it. It is 21-21 with 5:07 to play. And the Eagles are getting the ball back after the Justice Hansen A-State touchdown. They're going to take this one from inside the 10. Here comes Kennedy. The ball is loose. It looks like Southern fell on that one at the 17-yard line. And they did. Great heads-up return coverage that time by Logan Wright, the red shirt freshman.
Yeah, but hold on there. Wesley Kennedy is down. Let's see what happened here. Just a big hit by Arkansas State. That was Antonio Fletcher, the true freshman from Lithonia, Georgia.
And Kennedy was stunned. He stood up for a second after the hit. It was kind of wobbling like a boxer and then fell down.
And Kennedy, one of the big playmakers for Georgia Southern.
We're going to take this one to a break. Hopefully Wesley is okay. 21-21, 5 minutes to go. Back after this. Well, a potentially scary moment for Georgia Southern right before that commercial break. Wesley Kennedy on the kick return. He was absolutely clobbered. Ball popped loose. Southern fell on it. And thankfully, Danny, right after this, he ran off the field. He was okay.
Yeah, I think that's just a play where you get the wind knocked out of you right there. And Kennedy needed some time to recompose himself.
But bad field position. 1st and 10 from the 16. Wesley fields the handoff. Gain of about 2 yards that time as he scoots ahead.
Now, you say bad position, Greg. I think this is perfect position for Georgia Southern, knowing how they're able to run the clock out, and they have all 3 of their timeouts, mind you. If they can get one good solid possession down the field and get in the field goal range, they can take it home right here.
The flip side of that, buddy, if they go 3 and out, Arkansas State doesn't have very long to go to get in field goal range themselves.
And they have all 3 timeouts left, too.
I think we're looking at a half-hour finish for these next 4:30.
One way to find out.
2nd down and 8. The option. Wirtz pitches. Garrett, 29-yard line. It looks like he got the first down by maybe a half yard. Jamal Jones made the tackle, and he got the first down. That'll move the chains.
A late toss there by Shai Wirtz, getting hit as well. Yeah, ouch indeed.
I'll say it, though. These Eagles, Danny, they're laying their bodies on the line.
Well, this is a true battle. You want to kick off the Sun Belt Conference in a major way. You want to kick off your conference opener with a win. And both teams are fighting here tonight.
Clock ticks down inside 4 minutes. Kennedy in motion after he got clobbered. Up the middle to Fields. 30-yard line, gain of 3 yards. Wesley Fields has been outside of his one deep touchdown catch tonight. Not entirely effective on the ground. Net yardage, well, I take that back. He wasn't effective in the first half. Second half, he's been great.
Yeah, he's been the key here on his Eagle offense. Has a receiving touchdown, made a big play as well to set up the Monteo Garrett touchdown.
He's been a big second half player.
Yes.
They'll give him 4 yards there, 2nd and 6. The option, Wirtz will keep and pick up the first down. He's to the 39, maybe 40-yard line.
And those are the plays you want.
And this is exactly what Southern wants. Down inside 3 minutes. moving the ball. And I will say, we saw in the opening weeks, Tyler Bass, the kicker, hit more than a 50-yarder.
Yeah, he's a perfect 3 for 3 so far this season. So if you get him in the right position, you don't want to have to resort to 50-yard field goal, but if you can get him there, he can take it home.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Kennedy, the motion man. They'll run the option. Wirtz breaks out of a tackle, and he's got a first down into Arkansas State territory. Danny, they've got the Red Wolves right where they want them.
Yeah, and you have to appreciate the mental toughness of quarterback Shai Wirtz. You saw him get hit on the late toss, the late pitch in the previous play a few plays ago. He went down earlier in the game, had to step out for a play. He's really trying to hold things together and to get the Eagles in the right spot.
Inside 2 minutes to play. Whistles. This appears to be a timeout, but who called it?
The ruling of the runner making the line to gain is under further review.
The previous play is under review.
I guess they're trying to see if Wirtz got the first down. That's my only possible answer.
Let's take a look at this one more time. I would have to guess they're looking at the spot, right?
Possibly.
Well, on the bright side for both teams, this is essentially turned into a free timeout to rest yourself. And I would say, based on this drive, that really benefits Arkansas State.
Yeah, that helps them more so than Georgia Southern for that matter, because that defense could be on the field for the final minute 48 of play. And if they can get a quick water break without having to use one of the 3 timeouts that the Red Wolves have left, that benefits them. And take a look here, Shai Wirtz. You know, I think they're trying to see if he landed at the 50 or maybe at the 49.
I'm also wondering about a possible face mask as he went down, because we saw him have to adjust it as he got up. Here they come.
After further review, the ruling is the runner was down with the ball just beyond the 48-yard line. The result of the play will be second down with 1.5 yards to go for Georgia Southern.
Well, that's not the worst possible thing either, because it's 2nd and 1. The clock's going to start ticking after the whistle blows. More time will be taken off.
That's not the worst thing in the world for Southern.
If anything, that possibly hurts Arkansas State.
1:48 to go. Southern's going to take all the time they can and try to get into field goal range. 2nd down and more than 1. Richardson, the tight end, in motion. Wirtz, the keeper, on the option. Goes end over end to the 49. I'm not sure he got that first down.
We had to leap over a couple of defensive men.
They're going to call it 3rd down. Third down and 1 coming up for for Georgia Southern. The keeper, Wirtz, went shoulder first to the 49. I think he came up a few inches short.
Well, at first I thought he got it, but he may have been stopped. And I think, Greg, that he may have gotten it. Nope, it's going to be 4th down. No, I'm sorry, 1st down. He got it.
Late decision by the refs. They say he leaned over the 50. All right, only 53 seconds to go in this one. Southern needs to make sure they have enough time to do what they want. Because you don't want this one to go to overtime. Both teams have 3 timeouts inside a minute. The option on first for Wirtz. Got about 3 yards on the play. Southern should burn a timeout here. And they will. The clock will stop at 35 seconds.
Timeout. Georgia Southern, first charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 36 seconds.
Well, this isn't the first time that the Eagles and the Red Wolves have gone down to the final seconds. Let's take it back. 2 years ago in Jonesboro, Arkansas, down to the final seconds, 26-20, Justice Hansen throws it to the end zone, and it gets a touchdown. And that pretty much shattered the Eagles' dreams in that match. That was another primetime game on ESPN2, and Hansen, well, we know what he can do late in games. So the Eagles want to try to win this before.
They want this in regulation. I feel that we can speak appropriately for Chad Lunsford in this moment. He does not want to let Justice Hansen back on that field.
No, not at all. You can continue to make your way closer and closer in the field goal range for Tyler Bass and use the rest of your timeouts.
Big second down and 8 here for Southern. 36 seconds remaining. Kennedy in motion. The option with Kennedy. Here goes the Savanian. Back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard more. Here comes Southern's second timeout.
Timeout. Georgia Southern, second charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
So 29 seconds left. And here's the question of the night, Danny. If you run the ball, are you confident that Arkansas State would burn their timeouts? Because here's the thing. If you're Southern, after what's just happened, are you confident you're going to pick up a first down on this play?
Well, it all depends, because it's 3rd down and 7, and if the Eagles can get about 5 or 6 yards, then you could see Georgia Southern call their final timeout and try to go for the field goal.
Well,
or Arkansas State for that matter.
Tyler Bass hit a 52-yarder against Massachusetts in week 2. So he's got a leg on him. Shai Wirtz, meanwhile, has only thrown 3 times tonight. And Arkansas State wanted to see the Southern's formation, and they will burn a timeout.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, they want to start Sun Belt Conference play off right, because they'll be right back in Paulson Stadium next Saturday. It's their homecoming game against South Alabama. Then they'll go on the road, take on Texas State. The only non-conference game is New Mexico State, who used to be in the Sun Belt Conference.
This is their first year not in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, the first year out of the Sun Belt Conference. So, you know, the Eagles want to kick Sun Belt Conference play off right, because they only won 2 conference games last year. One of them was against South Alabama, the other against the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana, who did not play this year.
Okay, 29 seconds. Southern staring down 3rd and 7. They are only 3 for 9 tonight on 3rd down. The option. Here comes Kennedy. The Savanian has lots of green in front of him. Wes Kennedy will score for Georgia Southern. And he puts the Eagles ahead with 19 seconds to play.
You want to talk about confidence? You want to talk about big-time plays? Wes Kennedy got hit hard on the kickoff return of this drive. What a reversal and open field for Wesley Kennedy. He got hit as he went out, but I believe the ball was able to cross the pylon.
It was. Here comes the PAT for Southern. The drive, 10 plays, over 80 yards in less than a minute. Here comes Bass. Bob DeBess just earned his paycheck.
Now, I don't want to spoil the early celebration, but there is 19 seconds left. We just saw what Justice Hansen was able to do in less than 20 seconds 2 years ago. There's still enough time, as Hansen can be a deep ball thrower, to get the ball down the field and potentially give Arkansas State one more chance before time expires. It's going to be tough to do, but either way, Boston Stadium has come alive here tonight.
All right, Arkansas State. You've won the conference 5 in the last 7 years. We know they're not dead yet. Out of the back of the end zone. They're going to try to run a play. Along the outside, this is Kirk Merritt. He's still in bounds past the 30-yard line. Well, they ran 7 seconds off, and they gave themselves an additional 10 yards, but they almost just lost the game.
Yeah, I was very concerned there for a moment, but desperate times come for desperate measures, and they went with the trick play. The same what the Eagles did to win, take the lead. So Justice Hansen has to go a long ways.
Offside, kicking team number 27. 5-yard penalty is added to the
69 yards, no, even more. This is going to be a call against the Eagles that gives them even better field position. Okay, 37-yard line, 63 yards to go, 12 seconds. That is time enough for about 2 plays. Southern 4 deep men back in coverage. Hansen over the middle of the field to the 50. That's a complete pass to McInnes. Timeouts. 5 seconds left.
Well, if you're Georgia Southern, you send your entire secondary and maybe 1 or 2 more guys to the end zone. Prevent a long pass.
Chad Lunsford has talked all week about the power of Paulson. They're feeling it now. They took a lot of time on the kick return and on that play. Time for one more. Arkansas State is going to burn one more timeout, their final timeout.
Arkansas State, it's their 3rd and final timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
And the Paulson Stadium, for the first time since Willie Fritz was the head coach, is back to life. It's Hail Mary time for Justice Hansen. the reigning Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Year. He's already thrown for 375 yards, and Southern has only given up 1 touchdown to him tonight. This is the ball game. Pressure. Hansen goes down! (28-21), and Georgia Southern is back, folks. The Chad Lunsford era began tonight. Put it in the record books.
Show up because they're going to show out. This has been a week-long mission by Chad Lunsford to bring Eagle Nation to Paulson Stadium. The power of Paulson. And it came through as the Eagles were able to win their first conference game of the year, 28-21.
Chad Lunsford is a man unafraid of history. He wins this game for Southern 28-21 on the back of his quarterback, Shiworts. The power of Paulson is real, and they begin conference play with a 1-0 record. So for Danny Waugh and the rest of the Georgia Southern Multimedia Development Center, I'm Greg Talbot saying so long from the Nat Capital, where the final score is 28-21. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a proud presentation of ESPN. Good night.